understand no more. Can't say hardcore truths with a splash of contrast, cause it's the Illegal Opinions Podcast.
I mean, you being still, right? I know you in the car.
Yeah, am I being still? Can you hear me moving?
I mean, you're not driving anywhere, is what
No, nigga.
I didn't know if you had to drive around and do this.
I'm in the garage. That would be crazy. Now, shit. Now, if we were getting a check for real, yeah.
No, if we was getting a check for real, you're not allowed to die after we make it. That's not what's gonna happen.
That's fair.
All right. Well, welcome back to another Illegal Opinions, episode 9, the last place for real talk. Come with an open mind or leave mad. The choice is yours. I'm your host, Sam Ridley, the man you love to hate.
Sam, you get on my last nerve.
Here with my main 100 grain, Marcus Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, y'all are getting a whole lot better week to week with sending me his hate mail, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, keep sending it that way. That way is fine.
You see, no, that's not what I meant
That
at
way.
all, actually. You need some of this smoke that you creating.
No, I'm cool.
Just like that. Hey, today, man, I told people we'd have some celebrities up here, right?
Yeah, they thought we was playing, bro.
They thought I was playing, right? They think I'm playing? Nah, I don't play like that. So, we got our first female on the show because I know y'all keep on saying, you know, y'all need a female voice and all this and that.
Well, first guest and first female. So, yeah.
You knock it out in one bucket, right?
Blow.
See, and we never had to do it again. Nah, but I want to introduce y'all to a very special celebrity. She is a grade school teacher. Mm-hmm. Okay, give it up for T.Anita, everybody. Give it up for T.Anita.
What's up, you guys? It's T.Anita.
Hey, thank you for coming on to the show. It was important to me, for real. Me and Mark has been talking about having a female on the show for about 3-4 episodes, because you know in the earlier stuff, women was like, "Oh yeah, y'all need a female voice because y'all got the game twisted." I'm like, don't y'all have enough shows that like, give y'all's perspective? All the shows, right?
All the shows, female shows.
I don't understand where it came from. I really don't. But whatever. We got a female on the show now.
We just need a little something to balance out all this masculine energy.
Masculine energy.
A whole lot of stuff wrong.
We're not getting nothing wrong.
It's not true. It's an opinion. How about that?
True.
Apparently illegal now, right?
It better be.
I guess.
God damn it.
Well, I'm here to give you a little bit more of an informed opinion.
Okay, I guess.
Shit.
All right. I guess we're going to find out then. Well, check it out. This is how we normally get things started. I typically just ask Marcus how his weekend was because something always happens that stems some sort of other conversation. Anything interesting happen to you, bro?
Not really, no.
Well, all right. We got a fucking show to do.
That's it. Not nothing I want to talk about right now. Like, it's some stuff I'm working on that's still in motion, and it's kind of a part of that deep dive we'll go into one day about investing, and especially in the way the economy is now. It will probably be a good conversation to have as to being fearful or taking a risk and being brave. A little quote that I'm gonna get all the way fucking wrong, but I don't care.
Hey, you know, it's okay. It's okay.
Like, I believe Warren Buffett said something that sounds like, when the economy is kind of shaky, the people that lose are the people that sell. And the people that win are the people that buy. And you take that risk. So, it depends on what you want to do. So, when it's time and it makes more sense to, I'll get into it. But nah, man, nothing. I did a lot of chilling and staying my ass inside.
Just what you said kind of makes sense to me. Just on the notion of everything's low right now. So if you buy now and wait for it to rebound, then you know you're going to be one of the big winners. But you got to have that capital up front to do that. So a lot of times
it depends on. There's different ways, man, and there are a lot of different ways to make certain moves that don't require you to have a lot of money. And I think that's where a lot of brown and black people probably get confused in, is that. Like this is the quick example would be a house. Like, you see a house and you go, you love it. You talk to somebody about it. They say the house is $120,000, and you're like, fuck, I don't have $120,000. But the investor's mind is, okay, where can I get 5% of that?
Right.
Where can I get 10% of that? Who can I talk to give me a certain amount so that I'm not breaking myself to make this move? And that's where a lot of people need to start changing their mind on the way they think, because this investment I'm making now, I was really on the fence, man, and I'm like, well, I don't want to put that much of my money up because the economy is shaky. But
yeah,
how can I fix? Like, the thought is the rich people, not rich, I'll say successful people have a thought is of I want that, and it's not that I can't get it. It's how do I get it?
Right.
Like, what's my solution to getting that? And I went through that over the weekend. I was trying to, I was like, man, I really want to make this move. It's a risk, but I think it's a smart risk. It's going to pay off. But
I hope so, man.
But how am I going to get there? And I just kind of figured out how to get there over the weekend. That's what my weekend kind of was, just that. Just me sitting around reading, doing research, and trying to figure it out.
See, that's something that I found interesting about this whole COVID-19 thing, is as bad as it is for all involved, like, we're never going to act like it's not serious. Mm-hmm. It's given me ample time. I saw a post on Facebook today, and this girl just posted, like, I guess I can't use that excuse of I didn't have time. I'm still not doing shit. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And I immediately got up and started doing research on stuff that I meant to do for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been a big thing with me too, because we've been winging it as educators, like, we're in a whole, like, area that a lot of us haven't prepared for and don't know what to do with. So
it's uncharted territory, right?
Right. Yeah. And we're so used to, like, moving and now we have all this time on our hands, and we need to like I've been getting into my creative bag too, and trying to take care of all the projects and stuff that I've been putting off, because as a teacher, I'm like, I don't have time. I don't have time. I got to put out this fire and that fire.
But now you don't have the 30 kids in front of you. So
exactly.
Can't you? Is it easier or is it harder?
Oh, it's easier, because one thing we say as teachers is that all we want to do is teach, know, and a lot of times we don't even have time to do that, because we spend so much time with behavior and paperwork. Like, I did not realize how much paperwork there was in teaching until
till there was none.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, so now all I'm doing is teaching and supporting, and I mean, I still miss being with the kids and stuff,
right?
But I am getting to do a lot of things that I've been putting off for a while, and that's pretty good.
Now, would you say, with this whole thing happening, it might change the landscape of teaching? Like, this is something that, they were reluctant to do. They didn't want to put the kids out of school so early and all the debate back and forth. What if somebody somewhere goes, hey, we're paying them to drive into these schools with these kids. We don't even have to feed them anymore. Like, we could just have them do this from home when this is all said and done.
No, it is failing. Like, no.
Okay.
No, it's so many kids that have not checked in. Like, they don't know what these kids are doing. And they're going to see the fallout from it in the fall. It's going to be.
So you're learning about the parents. Like most of the time, it's the parents learning about the teachers.
I already knew that.
Right. So now it's the teacher's turn to judge the parents, like, directly in that way.
Right.
That's funny.
And we're talking, like, inner city school type of stuff, So, like, I've only caught a glimpse of some of these parents, that when I go to pick up my kids. And I fucked around one day and went to pick up my kids in a suit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking good. The mamas is up there coming to pick their kids up. They still got on Garfield slippers. I don't even know where you can find them at, Like, how you ever hand me down? So I'm get out the car. I got my suit on. The wind is blowing though, right?
Oh, come on, man.
No, brother. Check me. I'm fly right now. Okay, I'm feeling it. So I get out and the wind catches my jacket. You feel me? So my brain kicked in and was like, put your sunglasses on. Put your sunglasses on.
So you went
while you get out.
All Mike Lowry. You went
Mike Lowry.
Wow.
Mike Lowry.
Not Mike Lowry.
Bullshit.
Yup.
Hey, I was fresh. So
I got you, man.
I did that. I'm walking across the street in a little crosswalk or whatever, and his mom rolls her window down and was like, "Who daddy is you?" I was like, "Nah, see, this ain't happening. This ain't happening."
You was about to get a whole new family.
Damn.
Hell no. You know she had like 9 kids. Hell no. Better refrigerator full though with them WIC checks. So check it out. I picked up the kids and all of that and got up out of there. But for real, that's how the parents are out there. They're picking up their kids. And honestly, you notice, I think through this, a lot of parents was using school as daycare.
Yeah,
and nothing more. They don't care about the kids' education at all. So it just turned into I know they'll be gone for 6-7 hours. You know, I can go give Leonard some pussy and he'll give me some money, that sort of thing, you know. But it's sad, you know. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. Speaking of that, though, like, so, you know, you're doing the teaching from home thing. Y'all, I'm assuming, have to teleconference with the school and all of that. Mm-hmm. So, like, what's going to happen, you know, with this whole thing? What do you think?
What was that transition like? What was that transition like for you to go have, like, I mean, because your life is upside down.
Yeah.
So what was it like? What was that transition like going to the school every day to now you're doing, like what Sam was saying, the teleconferencing, and I don't know if you're Skyping or Zooming or happy hour, whatever it's called, the little apps or whatever people are using to do this. How's that work?
Right. Yeah, it was a little different for us because we were on spring break when all this hit. So it was like the beginning of our spring break, and then I still had a few days to kind of absorb it. And then that Monday hit, and I was like, I don't know what we're going to do because these kids don't have devices. Mm-hmm. So I'm like,
oh, shit.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't even know how I'm going to, like, teach them anything because I can't even connect to them. So they ended up giving them out packets, but it took them a week to get the packets out. So it's just been a long, tedious, just like hurry up and wait.
Right.
And then things change from minute to minute. Like I get an email 1 minute and then a couple minutes later, it's completely different. So it's been a lot of change in the last couple weeks.
You want to talk about the shit you don't think about? That's the thing you don't think about. Like kids having the technology.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's a big problem. And it's also weeding out like teachers who don't have the technology or the technological education.
like an old ass teacher.
Right. Yeah.
Damn.
It's a lot of those.
No, I mean
like an old ass teacher.
No.
To put it plainly, right? Yeah, think about it. If you got a teacher that, you know, is already like 50, 60, so you telling her, you know, hit the kids up on Zoom.
Yeah.
And she like the dry cleaners? Like they gonna be at the dry cleaners later?
Right.
So, you know, teachers, they got to figure that stuff out if they're used to doing things the old school way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And a lot of them who are set in those old school ways, they are not very
Technologically advanced.
Not just that, but they don't adapt very well.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah.
They're stuck in their ways. They're like, I've been teaching the same thing for 20 years. I'm waiting on retirement. I'm done. Like
them Danny Glover ass teachers. I'm too old for this shit, Riggs.
Now, did y'all consider though? Like I saw Training Day and they flip pigeons. Could you put the work packets on a pigeon and flip?
I mean, you probably could, but I think they finally figured out they're going to mail them out.
No, I'm saying, remember he was on the roof with the pigeons, like
clapping and shit?
You don't do that? They don't do that in the hood? Okay, whatever.
No, but one thing I have realized is, you know, when back to school time comes back around, instead of buying all those notebooks and stuff, because I don't use notebooks, buy your kid a device. Mm-hmm. Like, skip the J's. Yeah. They don't need J's. They don't need them. Just get them some type of technological device that they can have to themselves and they don't have to share with the family. I feel like that's way more important than a lot of crap they put a lot of money into.
Yeah.
Well, because they aren't that expensive anymore. Like when we were in, we won't reveal our ages since there's a woman on here. But since things were more expensive back then. Like getting could you imagine getting a laptop when you were in high school? Because they were pretty expensive. But now things are like a tablet is super cheap now. So get the tablet, get the fucking Wi-Fi. So because that's why I was talking to a homeboy of mine a couple of days ago, where he was saying that his wife is a teacher, and he was like, kids are trying to catch rides to Burger King to get the Wi-Fi because their moms don't want or dads don't want to get out of bed to take them anywhere. Number one, number two. The only way they were getting anywhere back and forth from school was using the bus. So now that all that shit is over, the holes are starting to show.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big inequity problem in education. And I think that's the main thing it's uncovering is how inequitable our education system is.
But you know what? I don't think it's uncovering it for like the you and me, the Marcus, you know.
Oh, no.
It's uncovering it. The people that are doing the shit are getting exposed is what it is. Right. You know, where the money is going, where it's not going. Right. Those sorts of things are like crystal clear now that you got to reorganize. Yeah.
Because schools like mine, like they pump millions of dollars into these schools. It's no reason these kids should not have one-to-one devices. Like it's no reason. So yeah, I think that's something that's going to come out of this whole thing also.
That's wild. That's wild. Man, yeah, I don't even know what else to say on that.
No, it takes something like this to happen for so you can see the cracks in the system, the cracks in the foundation. Unfortunately,
yeah, but if they're still gonna be worried about their bottom line, yeah, we can see it, but they know that we don't have anything else. So let's say this thing goes away tomorrow, and it's obviously not, you know.
Right.
But if it goes away tomorrow, they're just gonna go right back to that same system that keeps them rich. So, like, what do you do?
Unless we as the people hold them accountable. And teachers been trying to do that for a long time, but we haven't had the respect that or people behind us. I mean, it's been picking up in the last few years or so, but yeah, I hope we can keep the fire burning and like do something with this education system because it's a mess.
Yeah, I'm hoping that what happens is when we do go back to school, now it's out there. Like, we saw what you're not doing. So don't try and lie and act like you don't have it. You know what I'm saying? Or that you can't do it when we seeing what these educators are doing. Because the real dedicated ones, they're still doing their damnedest to make sure these kids get an education. Right. So, you know, it's a trip. It's a trip.
Yeah.
We, this past weekend. Huh?
So that was a tangent?
I know. But for real, thank you.
No, that was good. That was great. No, that was great. I mean, I like that. That was great. Like, that's what you're going to get here on the Legal Opinions podcast. A teacher.
Yeah. Like,
in here spitting that real shit.
I know there's a few women that listen to the show, some that's in the Legal Opinions podcast group. Shout out to the group, y'all. If you haven't yet, get on Facebook, type in the Legal Opinions podcast. It'll pop up. It's always popping in there. Every day there's a great conversation in there that just real people are having. So please do that. Bone to pick with your ass, though.
Who's that? Me?
You. Yes, you.
What I did?
Uh-oh.
Okay, so a couple pods ago, you told me that you went and watched this show on Netflix called Love is Blind.
Yeah.
And you told me that I needed to go and watch just one couple. You was like, trust me, dog, it'll take you, 45 minutes or whatever.
Well, I didn't want you to watch the whole thing. Shit, Hove did that.
Yeah, so we don't have to go through that. Right, exactly.
right. I love that show.
You love that?
You love that show?
I did.
Oh,
from just an anthropological standpoint, like just looking into like relationships and, I mean,
okay, that shit is crazy. T.Anita.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
For those of you that are listening that don't know what we're talking about, there's a show on Netflix called Love is Blind, where two strangers, they'll have all the men on one side, all the women on the other, and they have dates through a wall, so they never get to see each other.
They're called pods.
You know, fuck what they called. So they all sitting there.
Love pods.
They're They're sitting in their love pod, right? Yeah. And they are just conversing through the wall, getting to know each other. And by the end of this, they propose to the other person without seeing them.
They didn't have to, though. Never mind.
They don't, because if you look back at the beginning, it's a lot of them who didn't make it through the end. So I guess those are just the ones who chose to propose.
Okay, because I just watched a couple that you asked me to watch. So they don't have to propose?
No, I mean, if you want to see them, of course, the crux of the whole show is if you propose, then we're going to follow you down this path. And if you don't, then get your bitch ass out of here. So,
okay, all right.
These people that proposed, they went on to the next honeymoon phase.
Yeah, there's that.
Okay.
They got a whole trip and everything.
So that's the premise of the show. But that's not what I want to talk about. Like, me and Marcus tend to find the meat in a conversation past that. Like, yes, I think that the premise of the show to find love is loony. I think it's absolutely nuts. But inside the show, there's this couple named Carlton and Diamond. I'll let you guess which one's the female.
She dances somewhere.
I know, right?
But she's not a stripper.
But she did dance, though.
I just said she danced somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if she was a stripper, I mean.
Okay, so here's the thing, right?
You mean what? No, what you mean?
I mean, she got to get her money. Like, ain't nothing wrong being a stripper.
I feel you.
Okay, so they're getting to know each other, right?
Woo, I had a question for you right there. I'm going to leave it alone, though.
Yeah. They're talking through this wall. They're having great conversations. They're getting to know each other.
Yes.
Any of y'all that have ever seen a reality TV show know that they'll do the cutaways where they're talking to the camera so that we can get to know more about the person than the people on the show know. Mm-hmm. So Carlton divulges that he has at one point dated men as well as women. Like, to him, a heart was just a heart, even if it was throbbing somewhere else. Okay,
he was pansexual.
Yeah, he was pansexual. Like
pansexual, omnisexual,
whatever you want to call it. He was one of those. Mm-hmm. So he tells the audience this, but he doesn't tell her this. Okay,
right.
It ends badly.
Yeah,
because he proposes to her through the wall before he tells her that particular thing from his past.
Yeah, that was a problem for me.
Okay, they have a big blow-up argument at the end. So let's run through this thing. If y'all have seen it already, then hopefully you can join the conversation. If not, seriously, look this couple up. It's a Netflix show. I think it took me 45 minutes to see all the segments they were in at the most. And that was me watching stuff over and over again, too. So check it out. Yeah.
This is not a Netflix ad. Just go check that shit out.
Not a Netflix ad. Like, you can pay us, though, if you want to.
$49.99 a month, nigga.
You know? So at the onset of this thing, I wrote down some notes that I wanted to.
Oh, you got notes? Okay.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro. Because you the one that told me check this out.
Well, I was gonna chronicle it, but I didn't want to put everybody through that, the whole thing. So I watched all. What was that, like 9 episodes? I watched all that shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You watched the whole series.
Bruh,
okay. No.
But there's another part at the end. Well, I'll get into it later. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So at the onset, this is before they actually saw each other, right? Diamond said that your past is your past. I wrote that sentence down because she told him that. She was like, whatever is going on in your past, it's your past. You know, I'm trying to move on with somebody, whatever. And knowing, because I had already seen kind of where it was going, I was like, okay, so how you going to trip after you find out about his past? Mm-hmm. That didn't make sense to me because now you're a hypocrite. Like, all the way around a hypocrite.
She wasn't ready for that. And she even said that, like, she just was not ready. I don't think when she said that in the beginning, she would have expected that would become, yeah.
But let me tell you about this dick,
hold on. The thing about it is, she wasn't ready for that, right? They had that initial thing where he told her that at night, right? They had dinner. She was like, he's kind of weird right now. His vibe is off. So they didn't go eat. He tells her that night.
Yeah.
So she had the whole night to sleep through it and think about this shit. And then the next afternoon or whenever it was to go and have a conversation about it. So The initial surprise, I get that part. And even then, she was acting cool about it, even though she was looking weird at the camera, like while rubbing his back, like, what did this nigga just... Oh, my God, I've kissed him.
Right. Yeah.
I kissed him.
But, like, even when she brought it up the next day, like, I feel like she was coming from a place of, like, why didn't you tell me before? Like, this is something big that you held for me. And, like, I would have liked to know before I agreed to marry you.
Okay, but still, like, another thing she said was, this is the man I've been waiting for all my life.
Happening like dudes, too.
But yeah, those two statements together that she made before she even met him and whatever, to me say, you shouldn't be worried about what happened to him and whatever he did in his past. So he proposes, right? And she's giving him, I'm always going to be there for you. You can tell me anything. It ain't going to matter because we happy now. And he goes, I sucked a dick once.
Oh, God.
I'm sure it was more than once, but it only took one for her to be grossed out by it.
I don't know if she was grossed out. I feel like if the conversation would have went better, they could have worked through it. But that whole conversation went left because as soon as she started questioning him about it, like his walls came up and he just turned into like something else and just started like.
No, her walls is what changed that.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't about to hit them walls at all. Them walls was nah.
Oh God.
He wasn't about to get in them walls.
Wrong walls, Marcus.
Oh, Marcus.
We ain't talking about all right.
Nah.
We're not talking about the wet market.
the wet meat market. Look. I remember him. He wanted to tell her, and I believe he wanted to tell her. He had made this statement where he was like, "I don't want to divulge that up front because I want to see where the other person is mentally first." So the reason he ended up telling her, and he still told her before they got married. So to me, it shouldn't even be like a big deal. She like acted like it was, oh, you just omitted this. Like, we ain't married yet. So what you tripping for? I'm telling you about me as we know. How long had they known each other by the time they went on that beach?
Like a week.
Okay.
Maybe.
So
yeah.
It's been a week. Is he supposed to go, hi, I'm Carlton. I sucked that dick, but how you doing? No.
But let's think about the show. Like, this isn't just a regular like courtship. Like, this is a courtship on steroids. So
shouldn't she be thinking about it like that too?
I mean, yeah, but I don't think she just was not ready. And even after she slapped on it, and I feel like she was really trying to like
let me
understand.
sleep on it, baby.
Right, she was trying to understand. But he said bitch, and it was a wrap.
Oh no. I'm gonna get to that shit. Because that was a well-earned bitch.
Well, look, she went there to talk to him with the intention of leaving that ring there.
Yes, that's what I think.
I don't think so.
How? Please tell me how. Because it was clear to me, just by her demeanor walking up, her mind was made up. And the reason I think that is because I don't think she cared so much about the fact that he did that in his past than she did about the perception it would have coming from other people.
On TV.
No.
I feel like that is completely your opinion.
No. It is.
Yeah.
But no, this
Yeah.
is why. This is why.
Completely unfounded.
Okay. No, it is founded. I'm going to tell you why.
Tell me where you found it.
She made a statement that the only thing she was concerned about in their marriage was if her family would accept the circumstances of them getting together. And to me, that was an odd statement to make because that to me says you're worried about outside appearances more than you are your own relationship. I think that the things that she was like a dancer for one of these like football team, basketball team, something. She's used to being around a lot of high profile men. So I think that everybody she brings around comes under scrutiny. So to bring a dude around that has come under a dude might be a problem.
Right.
And then she's going to have to answer to her family. It ain't got nothing to do with him.
But I think when she was saying that, she was talking about the show in general. Because I watched the Married at First Sight also. Mm-hmm. And that comes up a lot there too. Like the families are looking at them like, have you lost your whole goddamn mind?
Okay, so add that to, have you lost your mind knowing he was doing that? Like,
yeah, I mean,
I think she was making a statement about everything. She made it sound like it was just a show. But appearances are important to her. And she know everybody going to see this episode where her dude said this to the world. And now everywhere they go, she's with that guy.
Look, first off, when I saw the first episode and they kind of lined everybody up, right? And I saw him talking to the camera. I'm like, that nigga's gay.
Yeah, like
Your gaydar went off.
Yeah, it went off. I'm like, he's gay. Like the way he's talking, I'm like, this dude's kind of he might not be gay, but he sure is sweet. And then they said that like everybody that was there was from Atlanta. I'm like, oh yeah, that nigga's gay. I'm like, oh yeah, yep, yeah, he down low. He's down, and I thought that, of course, a fleeting thought, right, while watching it. But then when he said it, I'm on the edge of my seat. Because the camera started tightening up. I'm like, oh, he about to say that shit. He gonna say it. He gonna say he gay. And when he was like, and I've been with some other types of people. I'm like, there's only two types of people, motherfucker. There's men and there's women. So you talking about you done had a dick or, a dozen. So I just knew it.
There's no good time to just tell somebody that. Especially if you only known them a week.
Well, yeah, but you're talking about marrying this person. So I feel like you put it out there and you're going to see what kind of person they are depending on how they respond. And that should be done sooner than later when you're under this time crunch of this show. They signed up for the show.
They signed up for the show, but
like when like women don't let dudes fuck in a week. So how would you expect him to tell you his deepest, darkest secret?
Well, they did.
Yeah,
in a week.
Like deepest, darkest secret. That to me is something that is extremely, and this too. This is the other deeper conversation I wanted to have in it. Just in general about people in relationships, men being vulnerable. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's not something, and maybe I'm just speaking for me, so y'all can tell me. It's not something that's easy for most men to do because we're taught not to express how we really feel in certain situations.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not judging him. Do what you do. That's what you like doing. But those were real tears when he was crying, talking about his situations and the things he's been through in his past, trying to get women to date him and trying to be himself and tell them what happened.
Well, he said he ain't never had that problem before, and nobody ever responded that way before.
Okay, but it's still obviously something that's hard for him to tell because at that moment, I believe every time he's ever had to face that, he's like, this is probably going to be our last conversation.
Yeah.
So for her to be like, I can't believe he wasn't being vulnerable and honest with me. You just saw him sit there crying. What do you mean he's not being vulnerable? I don't understand that logic.
I actually don't agree that he wasn't being vulnerable, but I do feel like he wasn't ready either. Like he had some deep down trauma that he needed to work out. I feel like even maybe some shame that came with his past.
I'm sure.
But
whenever you meet anybody, you put your best foot forward. Isn't that what everybody does? Trying to get to know somebody?
Yeah.
Don't you reveal the parts of yourself that you want them to like, and then you start kind of sprinkling in that other shit, your baggage?
Yeah, but if you go on a show where you're supposed to propose to someone in a week, all that's out the window. Like,
not when you say you're in love.
Exactly, because if you're in love and it's unconditional, then it shouldn't matter.
If you want to be that way, then say no.
Unconditional.
Then say no when he proposes. You're like, nah, I can't do that, bro. I like you a lot. Like, let's see if we can meet each other like outside of this place somewhere. Like,
and keep the ball rolling.
Give me your IG or something. But this here is kind of like, you could have just said no, but instead she says, he's the man of my dreams. And you ain't even seen this motherfucker.
And he was doing everything he could to like be, I thought honestly, they were a good couple until she flipped on him. That's how I felt. Because he was making sure that he was doing everything he had to do to make her happy. They had great conversation. She was the man of his dreams, all that good stuff. He just didn't mention the deepest, darkest secret. It's like when you meet somebody, like in the club, let's say, right? You go to the club, you see something you like. Shorty got a banging body. Y'all hitting it off. Later on, you find out she had a waist trainer on. But she was letting you see her the right way, the way she wanted to present herself. But she was lying, man. You hid all of that oatmeal cream pie stomach.
Lying.
But that's okay, though. It's like, oh, but do you like me for me? Or you just worried about that? To me, it's the same situation, and she's dead wrong. Now, let's get to the part where she went and snapped on him. We're not going to act like...
That didn't happen.
Bro.
No, she did.
We're not going to act like he just called her a bitch outright.
No, that whole conversation went left. Like it was.
Where'd it go left?
It was an
when she took that ring off.
Example of miscommunication.
It was miscommunication?
I mean, in the sense of like, when you're in an interpersonal relationships like that, you got to kind of go by certain rules and know how to argue and stuff. And they didn't like that.
What did you think about the conversation by the pool, Marcus?
I think it was okay, and then when it got just a little hot, just a little bit, you saw her take the ring off. He wasn't paying attention to it because he was looking out towards the pool, right? So he didn't know she took it off.
Yeah.
So she was like, he says, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't got to do this or whatever the fuck he said. And she's like, yeah, I don't care either. I took the ring off. And he like, what the fuck? Like, when'd you do that? So that's why I'm saying she went there with every intention. The second it got a little hot, she wasn't going to, with the man of her dreams, she wasn't even going to try to work it out. I don't care what you got to say. As soon as it gets too hot, and whatever my reasoning is for not being with you, whenever that's not good enough, I'm going to find a way to make it about something you say. And then he said the big joker. And bam. Yeah. When he called her a bitch, that was it. That was it.
All of a sudden, oh, I'm a bitch now. And I was like, did she hear any of the things that she was just saying to him?
No.
And then he made sure he didn't say bitch. Like, he didn't just say.
No, he didn't say. He's like, that's why I don't deal with bitches like you. That's what he said.
Yes. Yeah. He didn't it wasn't a straight up like, man, you a bitch. You bitch you. That's not what happened.
I mean, it's kind of the same, but he just put more words around it.
Well, either way, once that word comes out, all of that other shit that she was saying to him around what he said to her, it was like she forgot. She like conveniently forgot how she was basically like kind of carrying him.
Because it doesn't matter.
It's called a trigger. So you just it's like not fighting fair. Like, you have to know what to say to people and what not to say. And most women in an argument, you don't call them a bitch. You just don't.
As much as I agree with that, I think at that point he knew that she was gone. Because she did. She took the ring off without him looking, because she was like, okay, I found my open. Let me take it off now.
I mean, you shouldn't do that, right? We had that conversation on here before. Like, you shouldn't do that. But
absolutely,
if you do that in that kind of situation, why is it okay for you to throw your fucking drink in my face? Literally.
Yeah, is that cool?
No, at that point, everything went left. Like, everybody was wrong. It was
a disaster. Then he started clowning on her.
When he brought up that lace front, boy, I've been looking at that thing the whole show. It's like hanging on.
Nah, you know what my shit was? When she was like, keep the ring. And he was like, I don't give a fuck about no ring. And he like lobbed it in the water, was like, fuck the ring. Yeah.
It's over. That's why your wig keeps sliding back.
Man,
that shit was. And I thought it was just me, like, I'm tripping. Cause I'm just now getting like wig savvy. So I'm watching it and I'm like, why is her hair doing that like that? And then by the time they were by the pool, she slept in it because she had to wake up for the cameras ready. It was a wrap, all right.
She did not have that thing tacked down.
So, okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, finish your point.
I could tell why she was really mad. Like, we've seen men and women argue, even when the bitch word come out in real life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody can carry you like a gay dude.
Woo.
Oh my God. A gay dude will fry your ass. I'll do the dozens with somebody. You don't want to do with no gay dude.
Like, I'll jank you and I could probably beat your ass. You fuck around.
When a gay dude tell you that your hair is fucked up, you take that shit real personal, bro.
This is true.
That is real done after. Yeah. She was like, I'm not going to take this from no... Ooh.
Hey,
he is gay.
The next time you saw her, she was at the front desk of the hotel crying like she working that motherfucker. Head down and shit in the lobby, sobbing. I'm like, why are you crying now? You went through all that shit with this dude. And that's what I'm saying. The emotions behind you saying you'll marry somebody, that you're that in love with them, with somebody you don't fucking know. Yeah. You got to relax with that shit. Because that's kind of like what I want to lead into is the institution of marriage. What do you guys think of that? I mean, we could base it around the shows that we've been watching for the last 20 years, The Bachelor and The Bachelorette and fucking this Love is Blind thing and The Swan and all that shit, like, where do you think the institution of marriage lies today with things being the way they are?
I think we can talk about it devoid of those shows, because those shows kind of, in my opinion, cheapen and shit on the institution of marriage.
Right.
To me.
Yeah, because to go on those shows, you kind of have to, like, not really value it, because it's a high probability that you're going to get divorced.
Mm-hmm. Right. Because you don't know them.
Yeah.
You don't know them, like, at all. So I think that the institution of marriage now versus, let's say, when our parents was coming up, I think, one, we got way too much access to everybody's thoughts in everybody else's house. You get on Facebook and there's some couple that's been going through abuse and, you know, shit, she beating his ass even.
Yeah.
But the pictures they post don't reflect that. So people are like, oh my God, they're so happy over there. And then they look at the problems in their own house and assume the other houses don't have issues. That to me is something that's changed, and it's not cool. This social media shit is really fucking up houses.
Well, because before you had to sit with each other and,
Yeah.
you know, deal with shit and work it out, talk. Now you can go and grab the meme that closest fits your feelings, put it up there for, you know, all 1,000 people of, you know, so people could then come on in there. And so instead of fixing what's wrong, you can go into social media and talk to your team about it, and they'll come on there and say, you ain't got to worry about that, boo. You know, you got that, queen. Don't even worry about it. We stronger together, and et cetera, and you don't have to actually fix it.
I also think there's the aspect of, like, back in the day when women were married, like, if the marriage wasn't good, like, a lot of women felt like they were trapped. Like,
Right.
it was frowned upon to get a divorce. But in the modern times, like, divorce isn't a big thing. Like, it's not
75,
like
80%, something like that?
right. Is it that high now?
Yeah.
It might be. I think a lot of people just together right now because they was planning on leaving, and the governor said we can't go nowhere.
Oh yeah, stay your ass in the house. Unpack that
Had a
bag.
packed by the door. Like, you might as well rewash them clothes, bro. You staying for the long haul, house.
Hey, hold on, baby. You said my box is over here to the left. To the left. All right, I got it. I'm gonna put it back in the closet.
Man, imagine being that dude, like, you just got in an argument and your chick, like, bleached all your clothes and burnt your shit up, and then they make the stay-at-home order.
Oh God.
We
got no choice.
We gonna be some all white party having motherfuckers in there because I'm bleaching all her shit too.
Oh my goodness.
Hey man, yeah, the institution of marriage is not the same. It's not.
It's not.
But I really feel like, and I know this is unpopular. It's unpopular. Marcus got real quiet.
I'm giving you space, baby.
hey. So, what's the goal? And when I say what's the goal in upbringing for people that are getting married, okay? To me, and this is from a man's perspective, I guess, you know, we're taught we got to be the breadwinner, right?
Right.
We got to be the man with the job. We got to take care of home. We got to make sure she's good, make sure the kids are good. Everybody has everything you provide, right? Mm-hmm. And this is like, I'm talking about like TV and media. This is how it's always portrayed. That's what we are there to do. James was working his ass off of Florida and them kids on Good Times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was his role. He come home tired and she had a giant pot of oatmeal. That was it.
Tired,
broke
mad, and broke.
Yeah. And JJ just in there drawing. Like, we get a job, nigga. Anyway. Now, the way that media is always portrayed it for the female is, you know, you're going to meet a great man and he's going to sweep you off your feet. Mm-hmm. You're going to have a big, beautiful wedding. You're going to throw on your big, beautiful wedding dress. All your friends are going to be there. They're going to see you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's where it stops.
Life is a dream.
No, life is over. That's the goal, is to get married. There's no goals after that. Their story is the happily ever after of the wedding. And then because all your friends was there and they saw you, you're good. But now the work starts for him. I feel like women like kind of stop. Like they get married and that's the goal. And then it's like, so what do I do now?
I disagree.
Of course. Come, speak on it.
Give it up.
That's why we're here. Give it up.
I mean, first of all, it depends on how you view gender roles in your marriage. Like, not everybody subscribes to those gender roles.
We're supposed to be equality now, right?
I mean,
You better not subscribe.
on the marriage. It depends on your marriage. Like, I know couples who the woman goes to work and brings home the money, and the husband stays home, and he's a house dad.
What?
Yeah, we was watching an episode of Blackish about
I
that
saw
this
it.
week.
I saw it with Michael Jai White on it. I watched
Yeah,
it.
I thought it was real interesting. Though,
It was super
because
interesting.
Didn't you immediately like kind of be like, oh, this bitch ass dude, he just doing this stuff at the school, but he was working hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? But, and I'm glad that's one of the things about that show that's brilliant is they always bring light that other side. You know what I'm saying? But by and large, would you saying that I'm wrong in feeling that way as far as, women having the goal of the wedding, but not so much the marriage?
I mean, I kind of agree with that. I don't think a lot of women look past the wedding because it's something that a lot of us dream of as little girls, being the bride and everything. But
yeah, I don't think y'all dream of anything past that day.
I think
that's not the.
It's just different for guys.
Kids.
Yeah, well, what do you mean? It's different.
It's different in the sense of you have to sustain whatever level of lifestyle that you're bringing her into. You have to sustain that or make it better. So even after the wedding, we're thinking past that. Like, how are we gonna pay for this fucking cake that we still got to pay for? How are we gonna pay for all these people? Like, we still got after this is over, you're gonna be met with a check. Still.
Right.
So you got to figure out, okay, now I'm still paying for this ring over here. I'm still doing this. I'm still doing that. So for a guy, and then there's still the social part of it where you're looked at as, especially if you got married young, you're still looked at as a boy, a young man. Mm-hmm. So people expect you to mature and grow up through your marriage. And if you don't, then you failed.
I think that's on both sides, though, because I felt that pressure when I first got married. I felt like I was expected to, mature into a wife, I guess, so to speak. But it's different, and it all depends on, like, you got to get together with your partner and decide, like, where you want to take it.
Yeah,
right.
And I think nobody, in hindsight, should get married in their 20s. I think that's ridiculous.
I might agree with that.
No, yeah, I agree.
You barely know like what makes you come easy. Like by the time you in your 20s, you still figuring out like regular shit about your own body.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. This is very private. I probably didn't start like using a lubricant to jerk off till I was like 25 years old.
Rookie.
Yeah, straight up.
Hey, no, look, I'm calling you a rookie, but I was dry jacking too.
Yeah,
so. Yeah, we thought this was like maybe this is what it is. This is why I need someone.
Yeah, exactly, right? I'm chafing up and shit. Like, damn it, okay.
Yeah. That sounds painful.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't know what you don't know. You really don't. You know what I'm saying? And then once you figure out their Jergens and stuff, man.
Yeah,
woo,
yeah. You gotta get the thick stuff too.
Happy day.
So like I had a family member. I won't say his or her name, but they asked me about getting married. It had to be maybe 5 or 6 years ago. So I remember that whole conversation. I won't get into it. Basically, they were saying, yeah, propose, gonna get married. What do you think? I was like, nah, I don't think you should do that. Why? At the time, they were maybe 24, 23, 24. I'm like, because y'all don't know shit. I said, he hasn't gotten on your nerves for real yet.
Right.
Like once, like he hasn't, you complain about him being a certain way. But when he's that way and y'all married and he don't have to change now because you married this dude and he decided he don't have to change, you're going to be miserable. Yeah. And then 2 years later, they broke up.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. Like, you walk down the aisle and you take these vows, and honestly, I don't care how old you are, I don't think you really realize what you're saying until it comes down to it.
Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
It's the vows, you take them because you've seen them in a million movies. You know what I'm saying? And, you're listening to each other, you're looking at each other's eyes, it's all beautiful. Mm-hmm. Your whole family is there.
Yeah.
Don't you fucking embarrass your mama.
Bet goddamn
Well,
not.
Not just that, but I feel like you actually believe that.
Oh, yeah, you believe it at the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Hold on. Time out. We're going to get right back in this, okay? Y'all, find the time to go and watch the last 2 episodes of Love is Blind.
We watched the reunion show.
No. Before that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll do that. Anyway. Yeah, we'll do that. Because I don't want us to be like turned into the illegal Love is Blind review.
No. But just you just reminded me saying like standing there in front of your family and all that shit, and the mama saying you bet not.
Oh no! I did see this white dude. She ran out and he like made like a statement. And the wife's mom was like, "He's a good guy.
He's great. I love him.
He's great." Like, yo, wouldn't that be some shit if she still invited him to dinner and be like, "You fucked up, but he cool with me."
Yo, yeah, right. Like, man, why you do Jeff like this? He's awesome. Huge dick.
That's what Deborah Cox was talking about. I went by Mother's and saw your Corvette outside. And she's like that motherfucker spit.
But seeing that shit, like, it makes me like, for me personally, I don't see the value in marriage. I don't know what it's for anymore.
It's not the same as it used to be.
Like, what's it for? Like, what does it do for me besides, like, if I want to go get a loan for something, I could put you on there, we combine our incomes, and now we're Gucci.
Well, it depends on who you are, because some people need that companionship.
But you got it.
Yeah. You have it without the paper is what Marcus is saying, I think.
Yeah, but there is an institutional side of it that doesn't work without the paper.
See, when you say institutional, I immediately think of dude that got out of jail from Shawshank and hung himself. Like, he was institutionalized.
Just got engaged too, didn't he?
No. He had just got a job at a grocery store.
He was
an essential employee at the grocery store.
That's dark. But
essential.
No, all I mean is there is a business side of it. Like, there is, like, when it comes to, like, I don't know, insurance or buying houses together or whatever, there is a benefit to it on that side. But beside that, just having that bond with the person that you love, and if you're not married,
we bond every night.
You can bond, yeah, of course, you can bond every night.
Not most nights. That shit, like maybe 45% of the nights.
But I tell you this, in my marriage, there has been times when I'm like, this is it. I'm on Zillow. I'm looking for a new house. I'm like, I'm done, right? But thinking about like everything I have to go through to get a divorce, I'm like, do I really want to do this?
The paperwork? That teacher shit?
Yeah. Right. No, really. The paperwork.
You like, damn, some more?
Splitting finances. I got kids. That's a whole nother thing.
You know, you start thinking about, like, I'm taking half these TV trays. I don't give a fuck.
Right. I got to go through and cut all his shit in half.
Damn. Wait, you mean like clothes and everything?
Are you that type? Like, let's say, you know, you the type that gonna burn up his shit just because y'all ain't working out?
This is my thing. If it's amicable,
yes.
if we just separate or whatever. But if you cheat on me, if I catch you in some bullshit, oh yeah, I'm fucking some stuff up.
Hey, you know what the answer is when they start with, well, look, here's my thing.
Yeah. hey, I'm gonna tell you, all I heard with her talking was, I was your lover and your secretary, working every day of the week, and a car with clothes in it on fire. That's all I saw when she was talking. I'm like, yep.
Man, if you come home and a Mary album is on, you just keep on driving, bro. You just keep on driving. That Mary album, you hear it out the window, just turn your lights off and pull out the driveway so she don't know you even showed up. Like.
But I think a lot of people do feel the need to get married because of the church aspect of it. Because let me tell you, like, I remember living with somebody for 2 years, and I remember going to my aunt's house, and I was raised Roman Catholic. I don't practice it now, but you know, I do all the good luck stuff. And
you on that lint though.
I'm on the lint. But I use that as my excuse to stop drinking. Like, you know what? Let me do something about my fucking salvation around here, and I'll just do this right here for like 40 days. So I go to my aunt's house, and she's talking to me, and she's like, "So you still living in?" And I was like, "Living in? You still over there living in sin?" I was like, "Living in sin? What do you mean?" Like, and I'm like, and in my mind, and it's funny because she's got like 3 or 4 kids, and she ain't never been married. I'm like, you the king of out of wedlock. I mean, you the queen of out of wedlock. Like, what are you talking about? So,
remember, just like we was talking about earlier with Love Is Blind, the perception of other people.
Yeah.
How Diamond was like, well, I hope my family, that whole thing. Like, before I got married, a hairdresser almost took my joy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Where it turned into this conversation where it was like, hey, are you really going to do this and y'all ain't married yet? And it turned into a thing. So that, to me, other people's perception of what's happening to you is important to people.
Yeah.
You know, and especially in the church. You know, so if you're in the church and people are telling you, you know, this is how things are supposed to be, that religion might be stealing some people's happiness from them because of the protocol.
Yes, that's actually one of the reasons why I kind of stepped back from the church a little bit.
Right.
Because I just felt like it was more controlling than it is anything else.
But that's what people say it's for. It was used as a controlling mechanism.
Yes.
Well, absolutely. Like I grew up in Baptist churches. Mm. And coming up, like, my uncle was a pastor. I still remember very specific things he was talking about preaching when I was a kid, sitting in church, and I would even look forward to going sometimes. I was in Bible study on the Wednesdays and things of that nature. As I got older, the more I started to kind of learn, the less I felt a need to be there.
Right.
And that's not to say I'm not spiritual or I don't believe in God, but
Right.
it does beg the question to me of, I know, you know, we're descendants of slaves as black men, black women, and if Massac brought us over here and gave us the shittiest parts of the pig and the shittiest food and the shittiest living quarters, did he really give us the best God?
Yeah.
Or was it a control mechanism?
Yeah.
I'll take it a step better. In Africa, that's how they got us to turn against each other. They converted some Africans, and then those Africans looked down on the quote unquote savage Africans.
Right.
And they brought them to the church, and that's how they were able to get us on the slave ships.
Yeah, so it's hard, man. It's real hard
Right.
to accept it for what it is as you learn more. But I'm not knocking anybody's religion. Like, you believe what you want, but there is kind of a, like, learn for yourself. And if you have a good relationship, then you should be better off, to me.
I believe it's bullshit, a lot of it, because you can't, it's hard for me to get into it. And I grew up in the church. I was not an altar boy. I know you motherfuckers are gonna come with the Catholic jokes and altar boy stuff. None of that. Just going to church.
Smoking ball.
just going in there and minding my business. But
He's short. You know, his smoking ball was hitting the ground and shit. They was yelling at him. Like, pull that pole up, boy. Hey, keep going, man.
No, go ahead. Knock yourselves out.
Sorry.
Knock yourselves out.
We good.
Over here trying to talk to you about my fucking religious experiences.
I know. We
you're making.
That's my fault, man. That's my bad.
All right. God damn. Anyway, so I'm like, once you're made to go when you're younger, and you're just listening to people talk. Like, I'm not sure how many people was in there doing the hallelujah shit when they were like, 10, 11, 12, 13. Only probably by watching somebody else do it. But you're just in there because you're pretty much made to go. And when I got older, and like you said a second ago, you start trying to develop your own opinions. I'm like, so why are there 3 different versions of the Bible? There's the King Henry and the King James and the King. I'm like, what?
It's more than that.
It's way more
exactly.
than that.
So you start. So what people are, what they've done is taken whatever they found in some genie fucking bottle. Whenever they found it. They've taken it out, and because people have always believed in something. At one time, fucking fire was a god, right? So take this and let me manipulate this shit so that it means what I want it to mean. I will create. I can control these people Right. Control these people with these words.
Yeah.
And I say it comes from the Bible. This is the word of God.
Right.
I remember being in church with my mom, and you sitting there, you start kind of thumbing through the book. The pastor tell you we's gonna read today from Leviticus.
Is Morgan Freeman back? I'm glad he made a second official.
No, they all sound like that. They gotta hit you with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't get that anointing with no regular ass voice. So you thumbing through the book. You thumbing through the book, and I remember I think it was like Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Do not lean in your own understanding. There's a lot more said around those sentences. Mm-hmm. But I remember like speaking to my mom and going, how come all these sentences are chopped up into fragments? Because, as a kid, you in school learning, sentence structure and all this and that. And I can take half of a sentence and make it sound like what I want it to sound like. Mm. And then especially if I just focus on that piece of the one sentence and then don't read the rest of the chapter. Mm-hmm. And it can completely change the meaning of a lot of the stuff that they talk about in that book.
Right.
That to me was a little bit manipulative early on even. And I remember having conversations with my mom, and she would more or less refer me back to those lines, or not just her. Mm-hmm. I'm not just saying my mom, but when we was going to Bible study, they'd quickly refer me to another sentence that would make me think the right way, the way they wanted me to think. Right. Well, you shouldn't be thinking about it in your own understanding. I'm like, why not? I thought that's the whole point of learning stuff. Right. Is to understand it the way I understand it. Right.
But some of the shit there's just foolish. Like the Tower of Babylon. Like, are you fucking... I'm supposed to believe this shit?
Well,
I'm supposed to believe you were building this tower up to heaven and God blew on that Jenga shit. It falls over, and now everybody speaks different languages all over the place. Like, come on, man.
And see, that's when they'll tell you, well, you shouldn't take all of it literally. And I'm like, why not?
Like, you want me to pick one. Pick a side.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. David and Goliath, right? Right. David and Goliath. I saw Friday.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe David just fought a big nigga. Mm-hmm. It's just a big dude. This like in the neighborhood, like, man, you really don't want to go fuck with Goliath. G be knocking people out.
That's
bro.
where they got it from, straight up G.
Like Debo G. Oh,
yeah, it is.
Debo,
yeah,
G. Okay,
Break
I see what they did there, man.
Oh my goodness.
And think about it. He hit Goliath with a brick. That was the slingshot, right?
That was a stone.
That was the stone.
Ice Cube got that brick.
Friday's a Bible story.
Smashed up Debo. Damn.
I'm sure you could take just about any movie and apply it to the Bible. Man. I'm sure you could.
Okay, like, was it Jonah and the Whale?
Oh, God.
Come on, man. Pinocchio?
Noah's Ark.
Oh. Yeah, Noah's Ark even, man. One of each.
They've built one of those recently. Like how do you say the life size of some fake shit?
Where the fuck did he find a penguin?
And did he get everything? Like, did he get ants? Did he get fucking dung beetles and shit?
Pokemon champion, bro. He went and found
Gotta catch them all. Pokemon. Moses. Was that Moses? No, that wasn't Moses.
And then you mean to tell me... Y'all got issues. And then you mean to tell me that there's no evidence of this ark anywhere. But the pyramid's been there for how long?
It's been there for a minute, right?
Before that, right?
Right. They're older than all these Bible stories.
Yeah.
And they're still there with the writing on the wall and everything. But you can't show me any tangible evidence of these Bible stories.
Well, I take it as, because, it's a collection of stories, right? They say, these are the people that were there when these things were happening. There was no media back then. There was no social media. There was no news channels. They didn't have PBS. So a dude from a town you never heard of could pop up in your town and tell you anything. That's probably going to be the most entertaining shit you'd ever heard in your life.
Well,
however, the Egyptians got a whole Facebook page on the side of the pyramid.
Status updates.
Right.
They adding people.
Rolled 3 rocks today and sat in the sun.
That's true. They got a whole Instagram inside them pyramids, bruh.
They even blocking people, trying to like
blocking people. Shit.
I'm painting over his shit today.
A big ass piece of
chisel off faces.
Yo, so here's the interesting thing. Like you said, like no evidence of any of this shit in the Bible. Here's the thing that's super interesting to me is that the Vatican, like every fucking like 20 years, 10 years, there's some finding of a version of the Dead Sea Scrolls pops up.
They got all them shit.
And that shit's locked up at the Vatican, and we like, can we read that shit? They like, nah, nigga.
Bruh, I've been to the Vatican. There's so many like different places that you can't go in there. They run you down a very, very specific path and out that motherfucker.
What are y'all hiding back there, cuh?
They are the most extravagant hoarders ever.
Yeah, they hoarding right.
Like if it's cool, I feel like there's something in there that disrupts or disputes or whatever D word.
Yeah, that's
what
the rumor.
They're teaching. Yeah,
that's the rumor that they would go and collect anything that contradicts what they were trying to teach, and they lock it up.
Ain't nobody giving up billions of dollars a year.
Yeah.
If you own somebody's mind, you will never have to eat again.
Yeah.
They
You know
pack
what I'm
them in there
saying?
every Christmas.
And then they sitting around waiting for the smoke to come out of that little chimney to know that they done picked a new pope. That's the weed smoke. That cheap will come out. It's like, oh, we ready now. Let's tell them we done.
Word. Like, what if, I want that shit to come out. Like, what if Jesus was actually a pimp? Because they was talking about, like, he saved Mary Magdalene and shit. Because she was a prostitute.
What if he was her pimp?
He was setting her ass out. That's what happened. Jesus was a pimp. Yes, he was.
This might be our most illegal episode.
Yeah, I think so. I think y'all gonna get some hate mail for this one.
Hey.
It's all right. It's going to his mailbox. I don't give a fuck.
This is fucked up. Stop sending me shit y'all want to send Marcus, okay? Gosh, it's like trying to get a little kid to wash the dishes the right way the first time. Like, it shouldn't be that hard. Just email Marcus.
They know that you're going to read it, and I'm not. Because I can't read
it. Oh, you going to read it because you're going to tell me about it.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah, don't be. And yeah, I think. Oh, are y'all scared of him? Are y'all scared of what he's gonna say?
That's right.
They shouldn't be.
Dog. I'm gonna say they
like
might be, because I jumped in on the comments the other day when what was that post? And it was treat a man like this, take a man out to eat, take him out to do this, like treat him like a king. And it was opinions, right? Like somebody say something. The conversation was going well, and I jumped in there with a gif of old buddy in that Gucci windsuit walking through the doors with the glasses on, looking around, and nobody said anything after that.
It was like, oh shit, he's here.
I'm not gonna do nothing. It's all jokes.
But check it out. I noticed the majority of the people were folks that actively listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
And this was off the heels of us having that conversation where your opinion was women don't need to make as much money because we take them out to eat in that whole nine. So now we get a post about... I'm getting a look.
It was more than that, but...
I know it was. I'm paraphrasing.
Go ahead, T. I can feel it. I can feel it in the air tonight, baby.
Can you?
So seriously, they shouldn't make more money because y'all pay for our food on a date.
It should be a stipend of...
A stipend?
Yeah. Like, if it's kind of like, let's do it like this.
Bailout.
In the military, there's COLA, right? When you go someplace else, they pay you more because you're over there.
Oh,
like that.
My goodness.
Like that.
No.
Because if we're going on dates and I'm paying for everything and we got the same job, why should we make the same amount of money?
You know what you need to do? Find you someone who doesn't want you to pay for everything. They out there.
Where the fuck they at?
Find them.
Where they at, though?
Where they at, though?
There are women out there who don't mind going Dutch or paying for your meal. You just need to find the one for you.
All right, well, until then, men gonna make $10 more an hour.
Nah. No. If we doing the same job, we need the same salary.
Okay. If that's how you feel, and I think this is a good place to bring this up.
Okay.
Back in 4 score ago when we were allowed to leave the house.
Back in you mean a Dragon's Age ago?
I know, right? I feel like we need a banjo and a fire right now. Tales of Walmart.
Oh my God, that'd be great.
So I'm in Target with the kids. They're playing in the toy aisle and all that good shit, right? And I go over to the board games, and there's a game out now called Miss Monopoly. Okay? I don't know if you've seen it on the shelf, but like I couldn't wait to talk to you about this on the pod. So I'm gonna read you what Miss Monopoly is about, okay?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, what is a Miss Monopoly, okay? So female players get $1,900 at the start of the game, and male players get $1,500.
That's a lie, right? Are you serious?
I'm dead ass serious, bro. This is the rules of the game.
Okay.
I had to find the rules of the game. All right. It gets better though. When passing go, female characters get $240, while male players only get the standard $200 as is in the normal game.
This is fucking hilarious.
In addition, the game differs from regular Monopoly because the properties are all replaced by inventions women had something to do with. I think that's great.
What does "has something to do with" mean? Like, did you suck his dick of Einstein and now you claiming the atomic bomb?
I mean, you can do other things to contribute to an invention.
I'm asking what the contribution is.
I know, but if you cleared that man's mind and then he was like, holy shit, Wi-Fi.
You know what?
Thanks, babe. Look what you did for the world.
Oh,
Actually,
man.
women are probably smarter than men, so
Probably smart. You can tell
I'm not gonna dispute
who
that.
listens to the Steve Harvey show around here.
See what you need to do in your house.
So
I can't believe he got all that bullshit off, bro. He did.
Yeah, books and all, man.
I remember I read like half of that first book of his. Is like act like a woman, think like a man or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he was repeating himself. Every chapter was him saying the exact same thing, and I just stopped because I realized what he was doing, and I ain't mad at him. He made his money and he pandered well, but the book was trash. It was.
Okay. Here we go. Miss T.Anita. Uh-oh. Why would a woman read that book and believe it from a man that's been divorced 2 or 3 times and was cheating on the girl he just got divorced from and married the other chick like 4 months later?
Was the logic, okay, he's learned from his mistakes? Is that what it was?
I don't know, honestly. A lot of what he was saying, my daddy had already taught me. Like, my dad had already taught me the game, like, before the book came out. But I don't know why women flock to that. Maybe it gave them a different perspective and kind of a peek into a man's psychology, I guess. Gotcha. Because a lot of the stuff he was saying is true. I mean, he was giving up some interesting information.
He turned his Strawberry Letter into a book, so I understood why it sold. I don't want to get on a Steve Harvey tangent.
Miss Monopoly. Let's not forget about that lady.
This is my question to you, Miss T. Is this game not a slap in the face to you?
A slap in the face?
Yeah.
No, I think it's more of like getting a taste of your own medicine kind of thing.
But
like,
how though? Because in the original Monopoly, it's not like women made less playing that game.
And that shit was made in like the 40s.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the point to try and like counter the original Monopoly. I think it's like just a fun version of Monopoly where women enjoy the same privileges that men have enjoyed for years.
So would that make you feel good though, for it to still be fake?
That's what I'm saying.
Not me, because I hate Monopoly. I can't stand Monopoly, any of it. But
for like, let's say it's a woman that enjoys the game, and it's like, hey, look, I got 240, and then the guy comes around, he only gets 200, and she's like, ha! See? How's it feel? He's like, it feels fake, bitch. Like,
first of all,
and your wig is sliding.
First of all, If that happens, I'm flipping the damn board.
Oh yeah, throwing a drink in my face. I got it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it make you feel good a little bit. But I don't know.
Do you think it's
I
needed?
honestly don't know about this game.
Yeah, is it necessary?
Is it necessary to have a Harry Potter version of Monopoly?
Okay, no.
Marvel version?
No, let her finish.
Like,
Go ahead. Finish.
It's just a twist.
All right. It's a twist.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
it's got you salty though.
No. All of
Hey,
those
you
other
hit it.
versions
You
of
hit
the
that
game-
button. You hit that button.
Check it
now.
out. Check it out. Shut the fuck up, Marcus. Y'all don't know me. You don't know me. So all those other versions of the game that you just mentioned, none of them changed the money values. So that's a false equivalency.
Maybe.
No, not maybe. It definitely is.
But I think that kind of like they change other things. Like they make it look like whatever the theme is. And the theme is for the woman to have the upper hand.
I have absolutely no
society.
problem.
So
I have no problem with the theme of the game. If it was just Monopoly and instead of Mr. Moneybags, it was Mrs. Pennyworth or whatever. And I think in the game, the chick is supposed to be like, oh yeah, check this shit out. So the chick on the front of the box is supposed to be the niece of Moneybags.
So she never worked for nothing in her life anyway.
She ain't never worked for shit anyway. She came from
you
money.
don't know that.
Came from the bread.
Come on now.
You don't know that.
They still made sure that you came from a man with money.
She got railroad money.
Yeah. B&O. You know what I'm saying? That was all her.
Yeah.
So
been living on the boardwalk. What you talking about?
So to me, they didn't really do anything but give. I don't even know, because to me, if women are hollering equality, why do you want a game out there that puts y'all not doing the equality thing too? Like that's weird to me.
I don't think that's the point of the game, though, to be equal.
The point of the game is to stay on the shelf. Them shits is always there when I go.
I mean,
ain't nobody buying that motherfucker.
You know how bad you would feel if like, let's say it was some women and a couple of guys, playing that game and the dude still won.
I'm flipping the board.
I just like, what happens when I've got the short end of the stick and then I still win, and you've had every advantage available.
That's when she get up and be like, see, that's why I don't play games with bitches like you.
Right. Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's freaking hilarious, man.
Yeah, man. I had to know see if you had seen that game, bro, because I couldn't believe it. I was like, is this a product that, like, if my girl brought that shit home and be like, we're going to play Miss Monopoly, and yeah, guess what? When you go past go, we going to cut some money out your check. Because I think that's the thing. Like, I don't think that's happening in workplaces. Like, the employer's not, like, actively going, oh, yeah, she has a vagina, I'm going to take some money out of her check. And this game is what they're doing. Not
taking money, but they don't get as much. It's the difference between taking and just not giving.
But also, as a teacher, you feel like they're going to offer you less money because you're a woman, even though the majority of teachers are female.
I don't feel like we have that problem.
Teachers don't?
Are the dudes making less money?
Not on the teacher level, but on the administrative level, absolutely. Most administrators are male. And I've heard from female administrators that they have tried to pay them less.
Okay, yeah, like, so in the big corporate world, that's where you feel like it's happening.
I don't know. I guess not just the corporate world, but I do feel like overall that women's contribution in the workplace is valued less than men. And we could even dive into why teachers don't get paid like doctors.
Damn.
Oh, well, I mean, I will always say that I feel like y'all are vastly underpaid because kids is just bad and they're not really impressive. So,
but we don't, because it's a female-led profession.
Yeah, all right, I'll agree with that. I can agree with that. They tend to, for whatever reason, teach. Well, I think now what we're seeing, especially with everything going on, teachers, your regular ass grocery store worker, The person that's at the gas station, you know, it's weird. The people that were so essential in the regular world while everything was fine and they could come in and treat you like shit and get their loaf of bread, it was cool.
Yeah.
I've never seen people being so nice to teachers, to the grocery store worker, to the person at the gas station that you're hoping was sanitizing the pumps.
You know, they wasn't doing that shit, though.
No, they weren't doing that shit. But you're still nice because you're hoping you don't catch that shit and go home. You know?
Definitely changes your perspective.
It's changed tremendously. I think me and Marcus have had this conversation. I don't know if we have on the pod about, have you ever gone out with somebody to a restaurant? I'm talking to you, Marcus, and they're just extremely, for no reason, rude to the waiter.
Yeah.
That's the first and last time.
Exactly.
I'm going
first
out
and
with
last
that
time.
motherfucker.
I'm not going with you anymore. I don't care how nice you are to me outside of this place, but I can't have you treating. To me, I think that's just you. I'm not saying that everybody that's nice to people have been in these situations, but the people that are mean to people like that, I feel like you ain't had your ass beat like ever.
You need it beat, right?
Yeah, like because I used to get into a lot of fights when I was younger, and I respect people just because of I know where the shit can get to.
Yeah.
Like I know where it can go if I get out of pocket or you get out of pocket. And as you get older, you kind of like and by older I mean like 23, 24. You kind of start settling down, and you're thinking about I'm grown now. I don't need to be that way. I don't need to be fighting all the fucking time, basically. So you just want to live. And once you've made it through all that stuff, and once you've been through all those fights and had all that friction, you treat people with a certain level of respect where it's like, you know what, I don't want any, let me just be nice to people for the sake of being nice to people. I know where not being nice gets me. Or what how somebody talking to me, where that's going to take me. So let me just treat everybody cool. I think people that go in there and they talk slick or talk crazy to waiters and waitresses and bartenders and bartendresses. I don't know if that's the plural woman version of that. I'm not sure. But I know that I look at them like you never had your ass beat for real. Because if you had, you wouldn't, or you not even have your ass beat. If you've been in fights before and you've won all your fights, you still know what a fight is.
Yeah.
Nah.
And honestly, I think they're standing behind that armor of knowing that person needs this job.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sit at this table and I can act however I want, and they have to, or I can threaten them with, I'm going to keep my little tip. Mm-hmm. But let you just be on the street. You're not going to just pass a stranger and be like, I'm going to treat that person like shit because they might beat your ass. It's cowardice.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's straight cowardice.
Like we talking about like teachers. I can imagine the type of stuff that people say to teachers, because a lot of parents believe that Lil Jamal is great. Yeah. But Lil Jamal is a little piece of shit. And you don't know this. Well, you know it, you just don't care because you're daycare.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like the way people talk to teachers, and I have a lot of friends of mine that are teachers, and I see their stories on IG or I see their stories on Facebook, and I'm like, man.
Oh yes, kids these days are disrespectful. Yeah. Like home training is not like it used to be at all.
Well, now you can get in, I don't want to say more trouble, but it's different now. The CPS gets involved faster, and everything's abuse now. Everything's bullying now. I think last pod Marcus was talking about how we need some bullying in schools because it kind of alleviates a lot of the assholes we talking about in these restaurants and shit like that.
Yeah.
To an extent. I'm not talking about the kids that are like getting drove to, want to hurt themselves and things of that nature. Right. But getting bullied for me made me a stronger person. Everybody handles it differently. No,
survival of the fittest, goddammit. Either you gonna.
I think there's a conversation there. Like, what's your definition of bullying? Because there's bullying, and then there's just being an asshole.
Yeah. And if you're one of them kids that's at home and your home life is shit, so the only place you can let that anger out is kids at school, you're the ones that need to be dealt with. But to one person's, okay, this person comes in the lunchroom and they joke me all the time. That was me. is another person. And no, I was the one getting joked, is what I mean. That is bullying to somebody else. To me, it was a let me get my bars together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wasn't Marcus. Like Marcus said, he was fighting all the time. I wasn't fighting all the time.
Yeah, I remember somebody said some shit to me, and just being, I was in the jungle. Like I said last podcast, on the weekends I was at Pensacola, Florida, throwing hands on a basketball court. So we over here at this little school in Mobile, Alabama, and we wearing these uniforms. And you talking slick, but you don't know. I don't give a fuck about these uniforms. And I'll hit you with this lunch tray. And that's what happens sometimes. So, I mean, it's just like, it makes, I think, like I said, man, I think wherever it is, steel sharpens steel or iron sharpens iron, when you go, that's why a lot of kids now, they just soft as fuck when they leave the house.
Yeah.
They've been coddled. They don't know what it's like to have to fucking
do anything
like
anything at all.
Anything like you go home from. I remember I've heard stories. It's never happened to me. I heard stories about people going home without their bicycle. They go in the house. Mama like, where your bike at? Little man pushed me down and he took it. Well, you know what? You better go get that fucking bike back.
Right.
Damn, I should have told my mama little man took my bike.
Should have.
Damn.
But that's what it is. Like nowadays, people they're putting a fucking bubble around their kids. And I understand.
Right, yeah.
I understand that the world is different now. The internet is fucking insane with the amount of information that kids have access to right now that we didn't learn until we were fucking 30 years old. And it's different. And I know I do understand how bullying has now gone global, where we talked about on the podcast, where people talking crazy to kids from fucking China and shit. People, you have an enemy or a bully in school. Before, when you left school, the bullying stopped. Now it doesn't.
Right.
Now it's on social media. Now it's somewhat. Now it's on it's on whatever network you play your game on. I get that part, but you gotta fucking.
I used to feel like, okay, but the kids have a choice. You know, when you get on your phone, turn it off. You don't have to go on social media and look, but
it's different.
Real shit, it's almost not an option for them.
Yeah, it's different.
To not look.
It's different
because I noticed it's a psychology thing. I don't go look, so now I'm like, all right, well, whatever. Y'all can say whatever you want online. Now they've really let some shit spread like wildfire, and you have to go to school the next day.
Yeah.
So they're constantly in this cycle of checking behind themselves so that they can get ahead of whatever person is doing to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it takes a lot of discipline on the parents' part to see what they're doing on social media, but they can't do everything. It's impossible to manage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a balancing act. Like, you don't want to coddle them so much that they don't experience life and learn the lessons that they need to learn. But you don't want to give them so much freedom to where, you know, people have them ready to. They
know too much, or they get so much freedom that some nigga then lure them outside.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm going down the street and fucking Tyrone's outside in the Cutlass like, hey, what's going on? And like, you don't want your kids to have that much freedom, which is it's different to me. Like my cousin gave their, I want to say 10 or 11-year-old son a cell phone for his birthday with a plan and everything, right? And I am of the generation that shit's nuts to think about me having that when I was that age. But I'm talking to him, they're like, man, for real, we fought it for a long time, and we're all the same age, right? He's like, we fought it for a long time, but it's almost necessary. Like, it's almost necessary for them to have that, like, in their pocket. Like, you could track all their stuff. He's like, don't get me wrong, I go through his shit, like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Nobody's business. I
know what you mean.
Yeah. So, it's just, I don't know. You know what? Let's switch a gear. Do you think all this shit we're talking about with kids and technology has made them less impressive, or you think kids have always just not been impressive? Because everybody's got kids here, so let's.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's impressive when your kid does something.
Eh.
To an extent.
She said,
Yeah.
It depends. And I say that because, like, my mom used to do this thing where people would be like, your daughters, they're so beautiful. And she like, they alright. You know? Because, I mean.
Well, I think, for me anyway, I get mad about the little simple shit. Because, and I know every parent says this, I really believe my oldest son is a genius. I believe there's something inside of him that is amazing. He's always coming up with something. He's intuitive. We watched Get Out tonight, and he was picking up on shit that I've seen adults not notice until they saw it for like the third time. You know what I'm saying? But when he'll come to me with something that's like mega impressive, I'm talking he done wrote a whole comic book or a novel.
Damn, yeah.
Or he done built something out of Legos that I've never seen before. I'm super impressed. And then the other part of me is like, but did you wash your ass this week?
At all.
Right, at all.
Right.
Has water touched the surface on it?
Oh my God, man. You know
You know what I'm saying? That's the shit that like you don't realize you're gonna have to teach a person.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like as a parent, like there's no rule book for this shit. If you out there listening and you don't have no kids and you sitting at home and you got a kid on the way and you're like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm not telling you shit because then nobody tell me nothing.
Yeah.
Wing it.
You gotta live with a little
No
musty
rule
motherfucker.
book.
Wing it.
Yeah, there's no rule book. So when they come with that type of shit, I am impressed. But then it baffles me that you can be that brilliant and then at the same time like struggle with like some regular shit. I saw my son try to open a can of SpaghettiOs with an ice cream scoop the other day. I was like, the fuck are you doing? I was like, he got that shit. He got that shit. It's a symptom.
Yo, it's
What shit are you talking about?
Hey, well, something. He got something. Because that ain't normal shit.
It was.
And when I saw him, when I walked in the kitchen and saw him struggling with this ice cream, so he pushing the button like some ice cream. Dude, I think I literally said, what the shit?
He's trying to scoop that top off, huh?
Because you know there's like a big ass tab on the can of SpaghettiOs.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, I got to get this tab up. The ice cream scoop mechanically seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
So I understood the logic, but kid.
Come on, man.
Dude, like that type of shit is heartbreaking. I'm sitting there knowing that they're so smart. Like my youngest is a math whiz, but ain't no math in this SpaghettiO can. So all of a sudden he was just a brick and was like, what the fuck do I do? Ooh, ice cream scoop, that'll do it.
Then the next thing
And
was
I was like,
throw it against the wall.
Use your thumb. Use your thumb. He's like, oh.
That's what we got these kids, SpaghettiOs.
Right.
Just like that.
I think as parents, we gotta realize that they are kids too, and like their little brains are developing, and they just gotta figure it out.
They don't think about that when they say some real slick shit to you though, and you're like, oh, you that smart, huh? You that smart?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times they actually don't think about it. They just say what comes to their head.
Yeah.
God damn it.
They ain't had their ass beat by outside service yet.
Right.
That's
That's
and then
what builds that filth.
Yeah. Seeing somebody get their ass beat, I guess, out of the house. Like, ooh.
You be like, ooh, shit.
What did he say?
Like it hurt.
Okay.
What did he say? That happened? Don't say that shit, nigga. Don't say that. Yeah, man. But like, because when you talk to him, especially like, how old's your son?
He's
I can't remember.
5 years
5.
old.
Okay, yeah. The fun shit's ahead of you.
Oh yeah.
You have no idea, buddy.
Has he started school yet?
No, he's got a late birthday, so he starts.
Oh, okay.
He starts next fall. Well,
Oh,
however
yeah,
that's gonna look.
be fun. He's gonna be on the older side of the class too.
Yeah, and he's going straight to MMA as soon as I can get him in there. But no, he's not impressive.
You can't call your own son not impressive, man.
He's not impressive.
You can.
He's just not.
I think that's a very realistic way to look at it because you do them a disservice expecting them to do great shit. They probably won't do.
And then they say, watch this. They jump off the couch onto a cushion and jump up and smile, and they want you to give them something for that.
Yes. They want their participation trophy.
No, you ain't even close to the Olympics. You are no Simone Biles. Get your ass back up there and hit a flip. Then I might go get you a little juice box.
But think about shit. But think about this shit, man. That's his first big jump like that. That might be like one of the first 3 times he ever jumped from that couch.
Man, he been practicing that goddamn jump all day. I watched him all day doing it.
And now he's perfected it, and he's showing you the final product.
Hey, then the funny part was I said, hey, all right now, like, be careful because you can get hurt doing that. This floor is hard. You jumping kind of high.
See, and you making him soft. That's the same shit you said.
10 seconds.
Tired of people doing.
10 seconds later, he jumps off the cushion. He jumps off the sidearm, lands on the couch, and couches always got that kind of weird part that's hard under the cushion somewhere.
Did he catch it?
He caught that motherfucker, and I heard it, and I looked up at him, and I was like, gave him that. See?
I told you.
I said, are you good? Then this is what he was a G about it though. He was a G. I said, are you good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. When I tell you, he buried his face in the pillow, crying, like he didn't want me to hear him.
Oh.
I was like,
please tell me you consoled him.
Of course I did, man. I was like, all right, man, you handled like an OG. Right. You handled like a G. You didn't want me to see you cry. And I don't get angry at him or upset at him when he cries. Like I don't do that. Well, you're a man up. No, like if you want to cry, nigga, cry. So I let him get it out, and I treated him like he was my 5-year-old son. I didn't treat him like he was 15-year-old, whatever. So, yeah. But it still wasn't impressive. I'm like, damn, you went through all that shit and got hurt for nothing.
But I like that you let him keep jumping though. Like you said, well, as parents, we tell him, all right, that's cool. Mm-hmm. Here's the dangers of what you're doing.
Very next jump, boy. You talking about something?
Yeah.
Instant gratification?
Yeah, because the kids love learning the hard way, bro. I bet when you told him, you could get hurt, he was like, shit, how? Let me figure that out.
Plickety plow.
Yeah.
I look,
right there.
And he looked up at me, and I'm like, He's like, Tammy just told me that. Is he a wizard?
Is he a wizard?
Or he probably thinks he did this to me. I had all the confidence in the world until he said that.
You ever had your kid like run into something and all the wind and like came out?
Not yet, but I don't want that. I know how that feels. So
no, you're gonna love it. That shit is fucking fun.
Oh,
because,
man.
Dude, no, it's the greatest shit. They try to tell you that they hurt, but ain't no air in their lungs.
Oh, man.
So you'd be like, are you good? They're like, okay.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
It squeaks out, but in their head, it was a whole sound.
Yeah. Like, no, man.
And I'm like, sit down before you pass out.
Use your words, bro. Use your words.
Oh, my God.
So goddamn. But like, one reason why like we were talking about the church thing earlier. I don't know how often you guys go to church, right? Are you planning on going to church more often? Because even though the Bible, in my opinion, is a lot of moral stories, right? Stories you can use to teach people to do the right thing. Would
Are
you
we taking them?
Yeah, like take them to church to hear these stories and know, like basically say, if you're not a good person, you're going to hell.
No. No. My kids still know most of those stories. Mm-hmm. All the things we were just talking about religiously have been things that have kind of started to come to me within the last year or two, And like I said, it's very contrast to the way I grew up. My mom is still very, very active in the church. Mm-hmm. My sister, I would almost dare say, is hyper religious right now. Like she's loving the church and what it's doing for her. That's great, And I do see the change in her, and it's a positive change, and I'm super happy for her. So I haven't told my kids most of the stuff that even we just talked about, but for me, I want them to form their own opinion about it. We do tell them what Christmas and Easter is really about and all that good stuff. They don't believe that I gave a white dude a key to the house. Because we ain't got no goddamn chimney.
When'd you stop that? When'd you shut that down?
Honestly, check it out. Look, if we talking about kids not being impressive, I got one for you. You gonna like this one. My son told me that he stopped believing in Santa years ago.
Damn.
But he knew he'd get less shit.
That's fucking brilliant.
Hey, so he flipped it. He flipped it on us and had us thinking he was all into it. So we was like, hey, he's thinking Santa's going to bring him such and such.
Yeah.
That nigga played me, bruh.
Straight up, for years.
But yeah, no, it was, for a while it was, hey, talking to the oldest, don't ruin it for your younger brother.
Right.
You know, but it was definitely a talk. I want to say at the onset, it was we not going to do Christmas at all with Santa. Like, we'll always let it be known. Because I don't want to lie to the kids. And I was like, why not? Shit's fun.
That's that black ego shit. Black people always got a goddamn, yeah, you some white man got you all this shit? I'm busting my ass every day?
That's not ego.
You're killing the magic.
That was my thing. You don't steal joy like that from a kid.
I kind of felt like that in the beginning because I felt like I was lying to them. And I remember how I felt when I figured out that there wasn't a Santa. Mm-hmm. And I ain't like that shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want him looking at me at 8, 9, 10 years old.
Right.
And like, you've been lying to me for like 10 years.
Yeah.
But like, even when I figured it out, I was like, okay, but it was fun. You know, the shit was just fun. Talk to the mall Santa, then go 3 blocks down to another mall. It's a whole nother nigga sitting there.
Yeah.
You know, like I knew, but the dream of it was fun. I remember they had a phone number you could call, and they tell you where Santa Claus was.
Yep.
You know, like it was fun. You know, and I knew for about 2 or 3 years, and then after a while, it was like is Santa gonna bring me such and such? And my mom would be looking at me like, I know you know.
Right.
You know, but let's do this. Let's do this thing. And the way my mom did it was after you like let it be known that you didn't believe in Santa Claus anymore. All your shit was wrapped. There was nothing under the tree that was just sitting out.
What were you better like after they told you that there was no Santa Claus, that they didn't even wrap your shit up anymore? Like we don't need to do this shit no more, nigga. Here.
Yeah, now they put in the effort to just wrap it because all right, the gifts are from everybody in the house. It's not Santa just dropping shit off, and they don't have to throw away a cookie every year.
Right.
Yeah, it was the other way around for me. When Santa would come, like he wouldn't wrap anything. So it would just be under the tree. Like you just walk in and see it and be amazed. And then afterwards, it was like that where everything was wrapped.
Hey, it's funny that T says that I didn't want a lot of my kids like that. And then I just like fucking flashing through my mind was all the lies I've told my kid. And Santa being the least, like the least consequential one is the fake motherfucker. I like the way we lie to our kids about all kind of shit.
Like what?
I was just wrestling with your mom in there. I'm sorry about that. What's happening? What?
We were taking a nap.
We were taking a nap.
And that's not a lie. Because sometimes I do take a nap afterwards.
See? You be lying.
It was a loud movie, you know what I'm saying?
Get back from the TV. You gonna go blind.
My oldest was like, I heard what you were doing. Like, mind your business, boy. Mind your business.
Yo! Like how, as dudes, we could get blinded from the TV and jerking off.
Oh.
I know. I hated that lie. Please tell me you ain't tell your son that lie.
Not yet.
No, you don't have to yet. You don't have. Maybe I'll tell him that. If you touch dick, you gonna go blind.
Bruh, every time
I never got told that.
Like I would go in my bathroom when I was, I guess, in my teens. I would go in my bathroom like to get some peace, right? Because of some shit going on in my house that we'll get into later on, right? So I would go in my bathroom and to find peace, and my dad would fuck with me every time he walked by the bathroom. All right, now I'm gonna put your eye out in there. I'm like, I'm not jerking off.
Hey, but he had strength in that you was gonna shoot that high.
But bruh, he would say that to me like jokingly as he would walk by. Man, I remember we were at my uncle's house one time and we stood outside barbecuing or whatever, and just me and my uncle outside. And I said something about I could pop my thumb. Like I found out I could pop my thumb, right? And he's like, yeah, your dad said you was real good with your hand. I'm like, you told everybody this shit?
No.
Like, yo, what are we doing?
Yo. But you know what? Like, I think a part of it was you being a kid. You're not supposed to know what that means yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when I think back to certain shit that like got said around my house that I was just not supposed to understand because I was young.
Yeah.
But you catch wind of shit going to school.
Yeah.
You never, all that sort of thing. My dad would like go and grill master, miss my pops, you know what I'm saying? And he come in the house and everything would be up there, whatever, and my sister see my mama making a plate and be like, "You ain't gonna get no more chicken?" And my dad like be walking outside. She don't like a lot of meat in her mouth.
Wow.
but I'm a kid though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm not supposed to catch that. Yeah, she chasing him with a shoe, but I don't. I'm supposed to just be like, "Hey, that's just them."
Mom and dad just going at it, hamming it up.
No. But I remember when I heard that as a kid, I was like, yeah, mom don't really eat a big portion of chicken. I wasn't thinking like that. I wasn't thinking that way. But like, and that's just how adults play back and forth. But you know what though? That shit happens in like kids' movies and everything. If you go back and watch some of them, you'll be like, oh wow, that was really throwing the innuendo out there.
Yeah.
Because it's for our entertainment, but the kids ain't supposed to know. They do though, because they got all of the shit in their phones that we didn't have.
Yeah.
This is a different time.
Yeah, like remember they were drawing like the dildos and shit on the Little Mermaid video cases, and the kids never caught it.
Movie?
Yeah, kids never caught it.
Remember Simba and Nala rolled down that hill and she was giving him that look?
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I didn't think about it back then. I was about to ride the shit out of Simba.
Can you feel this dick tonight?
Oh.
With Pumbaa and Timon watching.
Oh, weem away that ass away, goddamn it. I see you over there, Simba.
Weem away.
Like, oh, she aching?
Some bacon. That was good. I love that song.
Oh man. All right, we approaching 2 hours right now.
Yeah, we is.
All right, let's get to our legal opinions of the week, man. If you got one.
I'm gonna let our guest go first.
Did you? Yeah, we do this. This is something we started last episode. If you got something that you've noticed that don't even have to be current, that you feel like is an opinion that's unpopular, you can go ahead and drop it, and it'll be a legal opinion of the week. If you decided to come up with one or not. I think I mentioned it to you, but I don't know if you wrote one.
Yeah, I got one.
Oh, yeah.
Get ready. Stop telling your kids that if someone hit them, to hit them back.
What?
Whoa.
Stop it.
Why?
Okay.
Okay.
You gotta give me some more.
Give you some room.
I'm listening.
It does not work. What is the purpose? Like, yeah, defend yourself. Don't let nobody beat you up if they're actively beating you. But if someone come past and hit you, your first instinct doesn't have to be to hit them back. Like, there's more than one way to handle that situation and still stand up for yourself and not get yourself in trouble.
Can you choke them out?
I think that's dependent on where the kid is at, because if you're in a school where you just got that guy that's like, if I hit him, he's not going to do shit to me. They're going to keep fucking with you. At some point, you got to let them know, like, you're not that guy.
I understand that, but my problem is kids don't understand that nuance.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get
that.
that.
Punched in the fucking throat.
And what ends up happening is kids start, like, trying to find reasons to make someone hit them. Or it just backfires. So, it doesn't always work. So we got to teach our kids other ways to handle conflict than just putting your hands on each other back and forth.
So don't hit them. Put them in the walls of Jericho.
Yeah.
I mean,
pedigree.
I'm not saying that either.
Yeah, the pedigree, that'll do it.
I'm just saying that shouldn't be your first instinct. Like, get an adult involved if you can. Or
see, now you pussy.
I'm not gonna preach to y'all.
That's what you would end up being.
We need to stop doing that too. Like, knock it off. Just because you get into a conflict with someone and you choose to take the high road doesn't mean you're a pussy.
I think that's from a parental standpoint, though. Yeah, I would want a kid or any kid to be like, I'm gonna go and let somebody know that this is happening to me. As an adult, I'm gonna go tell the authorities.
I don't know if that's true or not, because like my kid it's probably a month ago. I get the phone call, hey, my kid's name and so we're playing around, right? And the other kid hit my kid in the mouth, like kind of side punched him or whatever. So when I get the phone call, I'm like, okay, I can't kick this little kid's ass,
right?
But I
mean, you can.
I could probably kick his dad's ass though.
Yeah.
But because I'm like, what are you teaching your kid at home? Because a lot of times when a kid is it acts that way in school, they get that shit from the house.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. But that's not a battle that a child needs to fight.
That's why I gotta beat his daddy ass.
I mean, yeah, you might have to see his daddy. Yeah, that's.
So,
But I hope he ain't got hands though.
We gonna find out. I'm just joking. Like I can see what you're saying though. With that, because let's say that's how you get to the altercation of he stepped on my shoe in the club,
right?
And since you stepped on my shoe,
yeah.
I've been taught to retaliate at the very first sign of aggression.
Exactly.
And
that's
now
exactly what I'm talking about.
I gotta do something to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That product of environment thing though is very real.
Yeah.
So we can't negate the fact that depending on where they come from, it's fight or you might not eat today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I completely get that.
I understand what you're saying. Teach them a different way so that,
Yeah.
But again, that type of shit starts at home. And if you got some ignorant parents that have always taught the ignorant way, you're not going to be able to fix it.
Oh, I've had plenty of parents tell me, I told them to knock him the fuck out,
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but you do realize he going to be sitting at home with you for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. But you know what I mean? But it doesn't help the situation. And I just feel like we as a people need to come out of that like ego, because it's part of what's keeping us down. Like it's a mentality that's keeping us down.
I 100% agree with you, but I, as a man, can't tell my boys not to defend themselves.
I didn't say that. I didn't say tell them not to defend themselves. I'm just saying that to automatically hit somebody back, it's not necessarily defending yourself.
If you get hit, and it's clearly they're going to attack you after that, not just a hit and
defend
run.
yourself. Yes.
No, don't defend yourself. Finish the fight. Let them know that shit's not going to happen.
I mean, if you can.
Look,
yeah.
so I guess my question is, when does it stop? Okay, I get hit the first time, I'll leave it alone, right? And I say, hey man, don't do that shit again. And then tomorrow I get hit again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
well, I'll tell you.
And I've told the teacher. Let's add that. I got hit the second day. I decided to tell the teacher. They go, all right, we'll keep an eye on it. I get hit the third day.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you from experience, like, because I teach my kids this. Tell a teacher, do what you have to do to try and get them to leave you alone. But at some point, I'm like, all right, next time he puts his hands on you, knock him the fuck out.
Okay.
But I just don't want that to be their go-to.
Yeah, it's not the first resort.
Jump.
Right? Is that what you mean? Not the first resort?
Right.
Got you. That makes sense.
I wanted to come from a place of I've tried every other avenue and it didn't work, and not just I'm not trying to be a pussy, so I'm going to knock him out and get in trouble.
Okay.
I mean,
that's true.
Yeah.
Find another way to do it with your pussy ass.
That's my opinion.
No, I'm just playing. Gonna fry the kid in the office. You came to the office? Oh, you pussy.
Look, and while we talking about being a pussy, keep in mind that pussies do birth children. They're some of the most strongest things of creation.
I didn't invent pussy.
I didn't say you did, but since we're perpetuating it, let's just
because pussies are soft and okay, I got you.
Yeah, well, that's always been like why you call somebody a pussy, because pussies be strong than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But dicks be hard though.
I'm done.
Yeah, dicks do be hard. We be hard.
You hard.
Yeah, but if I hit it with as hard, you gonna be hurt.
Look, so if somebody if somebody kicks you in your vajayjay, does that hurt?
First of all, they'd have to have like the biggest big toe to actually get in there. But I mean, you gonna hit my pelvic bone and it might hurt, but
you always see that in movies, like, two females are fighting or whatever, and one of them will kick the other one in the pussy, and it's like ooh, we kicked, and I'm like, there ain't nothing right there though.
It's a pelvic bone. I mean, it hurt. It's like getting kicked, or getting, I don't know, hit on any other bone.
But they be acting like they got kicked in the nuts, and that's a pain y'all will never ever understand.
Maybe if you hit it right, because the clit is right there, it can hurt. Yeah. But the vagina isn't necessarily what hurts.
Yes, I don't know.
I'm sitting here thinking about the pain I had in my balls the last time I got hit in the wrong spot.
You too?
Yeah,
dude. Just talking about it, I'm telling you, that is I guarantee you, every dude listening remembers that feeling of like getting hit in the nuts. You ever like got in the car and accidentally kind of?
Dog, I was just thinking about. I'm like, I've done it to myself. I've done it to myself. Getting out the car and that bitch slide up under your leg. You're like, oh my shit. God,
that shit
damn.
Hurts. Like no other, and then you can't do shit but drive with hurt.
How is there a numb pain? How was there a numb pain?
A numb pain.
It don't make no
like
fucking
sense. It's like a
epidural.
just hanging between your legs. It kick you and your whole back just stop working.
Jesus. You know it's bad because if let's say you're in a parking lot of a store and people are just kind of going back and forth from their cars and shit, and if a bunch of guys see another guy get hit in their balls, the whole place
all of us feel it.
Bent over in pain.
It is a collective feeling. Like all of our balls got like a Wi-Fi attached to the balls close to us, and we feel that shit.
You like, wait, somebody can hit their balls like a spider sense and shit. Like, wait a minute, where's that happening?
Yeah. You know, Professor X will be like, "There's something happening at the mansion."
Somebody got kicked in their balls.
You feel it. Wolverine just sitting in the corner going, "Gee."
So I want to start a petition that instead of calling somebody a pussy when they being soft, call them a nutsack.
Why would you do that?
Because nutsacks is sensitive as fuck.
Yeah.
No, relax.
Exactly.
Y'all got Miss Monopoly. Let's not go too far.
You being a whole ball sack with your Miss Monopoly.
Yup. You being a whole dickhead.
Rub my balls on the Miss Monopoly board.
And she's still gonna get $200 more.
Since I'm paying for it.
I got your raise right here, Missy.
Hell no. What's your legal opinion, man?
Okay, my legal opinion. I was kind of flipping through the interwebs, not looking for anything in particular, and I came across this article. So I delved into it a little bit, and I gotta say, dog, I'm fucking so goddamn sick of Van Jones. Can we just cut Van Jones off from being the voice for black people? For those who don't know,
CNN dude?
CNN. Van Jones is like one of the main black dudes on CNN. And for a long time, he was cool. And I'm not going to call him an Uncle Tom or a sellout because I think that's wrong. But the way he starts, he's become this flag for these like ultra conservative, racist fucking people. Anytime they see him on TV saying anything, they're saying, oh, well, see, since Van Jones says it's okay, then that's fine. Van Jones isn't gonna fucking apologize for going to this ultra fucking conservative convention. He said he's not gonna apologize because he went there to talk to the people. And he's got this thing where it's, I feel like he's got that Steve Harvey shit. You know what? Van Jones to ultra conservative people is like the fucking Steve Harvey to women. Because when he says the shit, the people that want to hear it start clapping. Like when Steve Harvey does that shit about men are stupid and fucking all this, women are in the back. Like just since Steve Harvey said it, and he's a reliable source, it's cool. Van Jones
he's kind of
attaches himself to this
like
shit. Yeah, he attaches himself to this bullshit, and now he's starting to look like a clown to me. I remember the first time, I think it was after Trump won the office, right? And Trump was fucking calling people all kinds of names, disrespecting fucking fallen military heroes, all that shit. He gives one speech after he finds out he's won. Hillary has conceded. He gives one speech. Van Jones says he just became presidential right here in that moment. He is our president. He just became presidential right then. He didn't.
I didn't know they did that.
He didn't give a fuck about all the shit he did or said before that. But one speech.
People forget fast now.
It's fucking like, and then people, once he does that, people are saying, see, this black dude right here on CNN says it's great. He's perfectly fine. It's just crazy.
They use him as the rule and not the exception.
Yeah, it's insane. Now, I saw him on the reason why it kind of got me a little fucking irritated because I saw him in an article with him and Kim Kardashian talking to her about how her road to being a fucking lawyer and prison reform, which is great. But why are you talking to this motherfucker about that?
Yeah. I think. What's that bitch's name? I'm sorry, Russet. My bad. I'm trying to get better with this. Tommy Lauren.
Yeah.
Oh,
is she is he the black version of that?
I wouldn't go that far because no he's not.
I think he's on his way there.
No, he's not. I don't think he's. I think they're two different. They're attracting two different. Like Tommy Lauren, she would dive into that pool of bullshit like that.
Yeah.
But like Van Jones,
he seems moderate.
Yeah, I think, but he don't speak for everybody.
Right.
And when they put black people, because I think all of them got like one. They all keep a token. Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, that becomes the voice of whatever channel that they're on for Black America. So when you're watching it, you're like, but that shit ain't how I feel at all.
But people talk about you need that bridge, and a lot. We don't need that. We don't need you as a bridge. We don't need a bridge to these people. You don't need a bridge to everybody.
Right. Yeah.
I think it also kind of speaks to the idea that we're all the same. Like we all think the same. If one of us thinks this way, then we all think that way, and that's a problem. Like we're allowed to be different. Like we're diverse within our culture,
right.
and I think we don't get that a lot.
Like he did something where he said in an article he says like I know people call me a sellout, and I can't really fight that because of the shit I do. Like I can't go on there and say that I'm not being a sellout because I'm doing and saying these things even though I'm trying to do it from a good place. But I can see why people say that. Well, the nigga stop doing it. Like why do you keep? Okay, that's it. Cancel
because
not cancel Van Jones, but like we got to put him somewhere else. I'm tired of seeing him like speak for us, and I'm not cool with that anymore.
And I guarantee you that with a lot of these people that end up being the face ofs, right? Van Jones is probably another one of them that didn't plan on being in the position he's in.
Yeah.
Probably.
And once you get there, you got to make either the moral choice to say, you know what, I'm not trying to be what y'all are steering me towards, because he's not immune to the media spin either. Of them kind of placing him as an African American in that position. Mm-hmm. Or chase that bag. Clearly he's chosen. Otherwise, he probably would have took a look at himself and be like, nah, because every now and then, I can't think of the guy's name right now, but you'll see a newscaster of color kind of break character and be like, I can't even do this shit no more. It's only happened a handful of times where you'll see them kind of be like, no, that ain't even how I feel. I feel like I'm doing a disservice to the black community. And then what happens to them after that?
Bro, why are you sitting down talking to fucking Kim Kardashian and listening to her like talk about her becoming a lawyer, and all she's fucking doing is trying to find a reason so people can stop calling her whatever kind of airheaded shit they're calling her? How do you not know that this is all like she's playing a fucking game?
And so is he. Do you know why he sat down with her? Because you know about it.
Well, I had to look for it.
That's it.
I had to look for it.
Yeah, but you know about it though.
Yeah,
you wouldn't if you wouldn't have found it if he wasn't talking.
Guess what I know? I know he's my illegal opinion of the week. God damn it! Son of a...
Fair enough. Fair enough.
What's yours, bro?
I had a different one, but I'm gonna save it for next week.
Okay.
Because I mentioned earlier we watched Get Out tonight, right? Mm-hmm. That movie ends in a very, very convenient place. All that shit happens, right? Like, he goes... If you haven't seen Get Out by now, fuck your spoiler alert, you late. So, he goes down there, he go to the white girl house, all the wild shit happens, he gets out of there. He killed the whole goddamn family, including the grandmama.
Yeah.
The grandmama in the second body. He killed everybody. Okay? Mm-hmm. His TSA buddy comes to pick him up. Mm-hmm. And they leave. I hate to bust all these black people's bubble that love that movie. That nigga's going to jail.
Straight up.
You think so?
Ain't no way around it. There's no way around it. You're not gonna get them, the white people that are obviously have a lot more power and organization than just that family, to be like, oh, he caught us red-handed.
His prints are everywhere.
Yeah, his prints is every fucking where. They definitely on that chair he was palming for hours.
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe that's why he left it right there. That's what you're saying, though, right?
I mean, yeah, and before people, because I hate YouTube. Like, y'all got the stupidest fucking comments. Somebody's gonna be like, well, there's a deleted scene where he did go to jail. That's what I'm talking about. But like, the deleted scene is not the movie, okay? When directors add that shit, they want to show you, yeah, we could have went somewhere else. The movie stands as it is. Like, he went home. The win was that he stayed alive and kept his life. His life is forever changed because he just killed like 5 white people.
The TSA niggas even have cars?
Oh yeah, that was kind of weird. Who they chasing? The TSA dude drove in his TSA vehicle.
Chasing down a lost luggage, nigga? Like,
maybe he's the dude to take the bags to your house. They send your shit to the wrong airport.
That's not TSA that like make you get out of the loading lane.
No, those are cops.
Oh.
Or like a security guard, but it ain't the TSA people.
I mean, that movie was kind of funny anyway because he becomes a detective. He finds out where he is in the woods.
He came and picked him up after he murdered everybody.
Is that movie overrated?
I'll be honest, today was the first day I had seen it in a really long time, and it wasn't as good as I remember it being.
Yeah, I think the acting wasn't as good.
No.
The second time I saw it, it wasn't as good.
Like, I was watching it to see how my kids would react to it, and my oldest, he's super intuitive with movies, but he wants to do film.
Right.
Like, he's into it, and he knows how stories work. So I like watching stuff with him for that reason. But for me watching it, I remember when we saw it in the theater, and I was like, yo, this shit is groundbreaking. And now I'm starting to kind of feel like maybe my legal opinion is more about Jordan Peele. Like, his shit's not the greatest. It's more that there's so many unanswered questions. It gives us something to talk about.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what it is.
Real shit. Because I remember leaving like, what the fuck did I just watch?
I haven't even seen that yet because there was so many mixed reviews about like at first it came out and the shit was hot, and then after that it was like actually.
I would love to hear what you think about that movie.
Yeah, it's not a movie you would want to watch twice.
Damn, really?
Nah. Yeah. Well, I would say twice maximum.
Twice.
The first time is kind of what the fuck did I just watch, and then you'll go back and be like, oh, that's the shit I just watched, and then you'll never want to see it again.
Sounds like a porn star name. Twice maximum.
Twice maximum.
But I mean, I don't know. Candyman's coming out, so we'll see what he does with that.
Oh, fuck that.
What are you talking about? You scared?
No, I do not like look in the mirror and say none of that.
So you scared?
Yes, I'm scared.
You know he's played like slaves in movies and shit, right? Like he's been teachers and he's not real.
Yeah. I know.
But it's just like it's just kind of it's eerie to do that because you walk in the bathroom, there's a mirror right there, and you get a little tempted.
Yeah, I don't like walking into bathrooms that are dark. Like I can't. I have to turn a light on before I enter, and maybe that's trauma. I don't know.
I'm gonna need them to make that shit interesting though, because Candyman was always stupid to me because you gotta call him.
Well, it's that, and then you gotta say his name like what 6 times?
Or 3? I thought it was 3.
And spin in a circle
or some shit. But either way,
spin in a circle.
You know,
that's Bloody Mary.
If somebody has told you, if you call him, he gonna kill you.
Yeah.
And you go home and do it.
Nah, I'm good.
I'm not coming to help you.
Y'all never did Bloody Mary?
That's another one I don't fuck with.
I did it once, man. It scared the fucking shit out of myself.
And she's like a real legend.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I think it was a person.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the ghost of Queen Mary, who was like the cousin of Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
And they fought over the crown, and Elizabeth supposedly had her beheaded.
I bet her name was just Mary, and a British dude was like Bloody Mary.
It was
the time of the month.
Mother of Scots, or Queen of Scots.
What?
Not that kind of Bloody Mary.
What just happened?
Marcus happened.
I want to look this up though. How many times do you say Candyman?
I think it's 3. I'm pretty sure it's 3. One of our listeners, they'll put it in the comments for sure. It was 3 times.
Y'all can have that shit.
Yeah, but you know what? The only thing I really like about Jordan Peele, like when he did Us, the commercial sold me. That I got 5 on it.
That's just hard.
Yeah.
That's just hard.
Nostalgic.
How happy you think the Loonies were?
Do. It was like, oh
they one
shit.
song claim to fame, and like we in Cali, bruh. They still play that on the radio in regular rotation.
Well,
I got 5
he
on
mixed
on every day.
He mixed what do he do for this Candyman shit? Say My Name.
Yeah,
they flipped that too. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
Can we say Beyonce in the mirror 3 times and she pop up in your house?
telling this she don't think you ready for this jelly.
That shit. hey, I'm gonna have to try that shit. Just my luck, like she'll pop up with T.I. and Lil Wayne from the Soulja video or some shit.
No, she gonna pop. No, Jay-Z gonna pop up, nigga. Like,
Gonna be in the back. You gonna risk that for Blue?
Hovey, baby. Jesus.
Oh shit. Hey man, we gonna get up out of here. Damn, we done bridged 2 hours. See what happens when we have a guest?
Yeah. That was fun.
So I wanna thank T.Anita for coming through. Thank you very much. You know.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
See, ladies, see.
It ain't that bad.
We're palatable.
Yeah. This is palatable.
And it'd be making us seem like some demons, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm glad that you didn't feel attacked on our show. You know, we didn't appear to.
We're not barbarians.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all are wrong, but
Oh shit!
Damn.
See, yeah, that's what happens. Grand opening, grand closing on the ladies coming over. Thank you guys.
Yep. You had your shot.
No, I just broke the glass ceiling.
Oh,
this is her Miss Monopoly.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can't put that shit back together.
Oh damn.
Oh.
Okay. All right. I'm glad you came through here. So
Nah, bro. We appreciate you.
I do. It was needed. It was time. Just so women could stop talking. Like God.
God damn.
Hopefully they don't start talking about me now.
Nah, you good. I'm sure we.
Yeah, no.
Our audience is they're very dangerous, but they're also fun. So.
Yeah. Highly opinionated, and they all send the shit to me. Please stop. But thank y'all for coming back, man. You know what I'm saying? We back at you every single Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna get through this pandemic together, man. I've been seeing some real weird shit. Some of my favorite podcasts that I listen to have been shutting down because they can't get together to do the pods. I don't think we're gonna have that issue because of the way that we already do it. So,
and because we got content, I think some people are running out of content.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say no names.
People are getting a little dry around there.
Woo! But just making up shit like the sports networks because ain't nothing going on.
My lord, dog. I think
But-
the Bleacher Report is running Sims of Madden, and people are watching them. Please stop.
There's nothing on, bro. But we're here though, so tell your friends, man. If they're running out of stuff to do, we got a show. We here every Sunday.
That's right.
Right here for you. You know what I'm saying? Look for a lot of brand new content, man. Kango Movie Reviews is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see those on the YouTube channel and bonus content on the Legal Opinions podcast. And I guarantee you, Marcus is going to disagree because he hates everything that I like. So, until next week, man, thank y'all so much for coming.
Thank you.
You're allowed to have your opinion. Keep it. It's yours. But you are responsible for how you feel. This is a Legal Opinions podcast, and we about it.
Out.